Today, I'd like to talk about where our modern-day donkey came from, and I'm going to go through around 50 million years in around 5 minutes. The ancestor of the modern donkey and horse was called Hyracotherium, or dawn horse, lived around 50 million years ago, and was a dog-sized animal with 4 tiny hooves on each front leg and 3 on the back. You can see the bones of the front lower limb on the right of your screen. According to the theory of evolution, all vertebrates, those animals with a backbone, are built to a common basic blueprint, from bats to whales, from cats to humans. Over the millennia, this is a very slow process, adaptations occur to make a species better able to survive in the environment in which it lives. All the bones in cream in this diagram are a variation on the theme of a 5-digit appendage. So the whale developed a very efficient flipper, perfectly designed to power him through the water, and man developed a highly dexterous hand, allowing for complex tasks such as writing. But what of the donkey? Well, in order to run faster and live more successfully in the arid desert lands of its native North Africa, it gradually reduced the number of functional digits and ended up walking on the very tip of its middle digit, which became both longer and stronger. Today's donkey still has the remnants of its 2nd and 4th digits, the very slender and now functionless splint bones lying on the back surface of the cannon bone. That's the long bone between what we call the knee and the fetlock. The knee is actually the equivalent of our wrist, and the fetlock is the equivalent of our knuckle. Who knows, in another million years or so, those useless splint bones may have disappeared. The thing about evolution is it never stops. If that all seemed a bit complicated, maybe this diagram will help. Note the identical bones in the donkey's lower limb and the human middle finger. Can you see that the donkey is walking on his middle finger? And of course the same applies to the horse. Now let's fast forward to around 5,000 years ago, where there is evidence that donkeys were domesticated and used as beasts of burden and as a source of meat in Egypt. This Egyptian stone carving on the left dates back some 5,000 years and clearly shows donkeys looking much like the donkeys of today. Donkey skeletons have been found with damaged backbones, indicating that they were carrying heavy loads. Indeed, donkeys were ridden long before horses. As the Romans started to take over the world, they took donkeys with them as beasts of burden, and we have the Romans to thank for donkeys living throughout Europe and the UK. Today, donkeys are found all over the world and are a species of major economic importance in developing countries. They are the white van, the JCB, the tractor, for people who cannot afford heavy machinery. Anyone who has kept a donkey will know that they are truly wonderful and seem to develop a really special affinity with people who have mental and physical challenges. And they are increasingly used to bring joy and peace to a variety of such people, from children to war veterans. And if you're wondering about the donkey on the bottom left, well, this is a bee farmer's donkey in his full working gear. Scientists believe that all today's donkeys are descended from 2 types. The Somali donkey is still wild, but the Nubian is believed to be extinct in the wild, although of course you will recognize it as a thoroughly modern donkey. Interestingly, the stripy legs seen on the Somali donkey are often present on today's domesticated donkeys, indicating crossbreeding way back in time. Today we see a huge variety of donkeys, both in terms of size and colour. If you're a donkey owner in the Middle East or the desert areas of the US, your donkeys should feel right at home. We have seen that they are descendants of donkeys from hot and arid areas of the world, and we know that they thrive in warm, dry weather. If, however, you keep a donkey in the UK, where there is an abundance of grass and rain, well, the donkey is truly out of its environmental comfort zone, and that makes management quite a challenge. Just remember, evolutionary change is a very slow process. Donkeys, having only been in Northern Europe for around 2,000 years, are relative newcomers and have not had time to adapt to suit the cooler, wetter climate. Do have a look at my presentation entitled Donkeys, Not Just a Small Horse, to find out more.